Hey guys, it's Lisette here. I still haven't created like my filming space, so welcome to my couch. Today's video is going to be a girl talk video. You guys asked, you ask and you shall receive, and you guys all wanted me to do something around growing up, being 18, you know, finances. So all of this, I decided to make a girl talk on what really happens when you become 18. Whenever I was younger, I used to think 18 was like this magical number where I would, you know, instantly just have my life put together and everything was gonna be great. So I thought that this would be a really cool video idea just to like debunk sort of the ideas that I had when I was younger, thinking what would happen as soon as I turned 18. Like always, if you like these girl talk videos, give me a thumbs up so I know, and also leave your topics down below. The more topics I have, the more girl talks I can do, so just write them down below. And I also love when you guys give each other like advice and stuff, so feel free to leave your advice, your comments, you know, anything that you discovered whenever you turned 18 down below. So whenever I was younger, and as soon as I turned 18, I had this idea that I was going to immediately move out of my mom's house. I honestly thought that was like the thing that's what you do. Like you move out of your parents' house, you're 18, you're grown now, like you got it all planned, you're moving out, like you don't need to be under your parents' roof anymore. But whenever I actually turned 18, yeah, that didn't happen. Something that I learned is staying at your parents' house is actually a blessing. I mean, it's kind of annoying living at home when you're over 18, but the thing is, you save so much money, like so much money, and things are just so much easier. Like you'll realize when you actually move out how difficult it is. Like I literally had to pay rent the first time and I was like, this is what it feels like to be an adult. You don't have to worry about little things for the most part. I thought it was like a thing. When you're 18, you have to move out. You have to be on your own. I planned it with my best friend. We were like, yeah, we're going to move out. We're going to get an apartment. But it just, the cards didn't work out that way. And I'm glad that it didn't, because I was able to stay at home. I was able to save my money, and I was able to do things the smarter way instead of just immediately going into the adult world. Another idea that I had was that the friends that you keep in middle school and high school are going to be your friends for life. This is the reality. The people in your life are in your life due to situation and due to the environment. They're close by you, so that's why they're your friends, because they're close by you. They're people that you're surrounded by, that you see all the time. You know, they're in your environment, they're in your neighborhood, they're in your city. The friends that you have aren't always going to be your friends for life. There are going to be some people that are your friends for life, but not everybody is gonna stick by you when you turn 18 and once you leave high school, and you know, everyone goes their separate ways. A lot of people disconnect from each other, and a lot of people don't really speak anymore. It's kind of sad, but it's just the way that life is. It's just people make friends with people that they're close to, people that they are around. Once I turned 18, a lot of the people that I was friends with, I don't speak to anymore. And I only really keep in contact with maybe 1 or 2 people from my high school. It's not even something that's personal all the time. It's just situational. People move and people grow and people literally grow apart. I feel like 18, I'm turning 22 this year. 18 to 21, 18, 19, 20, 21. Basically 4 years. When everyone's growing as a person and in life and in success and everything, people just change. They just naturally change. You're not gonna be your same self that you were in high school. Just people grow up a little bit more and they become different people, and that can tear people apart. So it's not even like a personal thing, but it may just be something where it's just growth. A lot of friends you will keep those few that are like, you know, really close friends, or people that you don't really talk to that much, but when you see them, you're like best friends. Another thing that I thought what would happen when I turned 18 is I would get accepted and go to a huge big university. I thought you had to live in a dorm. I thought you had to live the college life, and you had to live on campus and go to a big school. That is something that people do when they are 18, but that's not the only option to be able to get an education. As an alternative, instead of going to a big school, I decided to go to a smaller community college. I thought college meant big university. Like I didn't think that there was anything else other than UCF, UF, you know, like big major schools where I had to go to school. You can actually go to a community college, which is like a smaller college, usually closer by you. You know, these major schools sometimes you know, you have to live on campus because they're so far away from you. They're in different cities. But the thing is, I just went to a smaller community college. I was literally taking just basic general classes that you would take when you first go into college. So it's not like you're getting less education. It's literally the exact same, except it's cheaper and you're not having to be in so much debt. You actually don't have to live on campus. I thought you like literally had to live on campus, but you don't have to live on campus. You can live near campus in an apartment, or you can live at home and just drive to your school. Also, when I was younger and once I was 18, I just automatically assumed that I would have my whole life put together. I would have a plan. I would know exactly what I'm gonna do. I would be focused on school. I would be doing this, this, and this. I literally thought that everything was just gonna fall into place. Everything was gonna be perfect. I would have money and it would just all work out. People put so much pressure on 18. They put so much pressure on becoming an adult and going to college and doing all these things that people don't realize that we're not being taught everything in life in high school and in middle school. We're literally being taught what X equals and like, you know, imaginary numbers. We're literally being taught things that you will never use in real life. Like, I have never in my life had to figure out y equals mx plus b. I've never had to use that ever again after math class. Like, I literally have never used that. I have never used I have never found X in real life. And I have never did any geometry or anything out of school. Don't get me wrong, it's really, really, really important to have goals, but I think 18 is just the point where you should just start to figure yourself out a little bit more, you know, a little bit more self-discovery. I feel like once I turned 18, I really transformed as an individual. I really improved as a person. A lot of things about my personality changed. A lot of things about my morals have changed. A lot of things about just everything literally changed when I was 18 going up. I just thought that I would have my whole life mapped out and planned out at 18 and I would know everything, but the reality is that 18 is the starting point. It's the starting point of just figuring yourself out and self-discovery and just becoming the person that you want to become. Do you need to know everything at 18? No, you don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to have your whole life planned. But like I said, it is good to have goals so you can have an idea so you can start working towards your goals. 18 is really fun. 18 is really, I feel like, when your life really starts taking off, whenever things start rolling, things start moving, you know, like I just feel like we have this pressure and idea in our heads, well, at least I used to, that 18 was like the year that everything was like perfect and everything was gonna be like, you know, amazing. So that was just debunking sort of ideas that I had when I was gonna turn 18, what I thought was gonna happen and the reality of what really happened. But this is what you should do when you turn 18. If you don't have one already, you really need to open up a savings account. Like, open up a savings account, and if you can, you need to lock it so that you can't get into your savings account. But saving money and taking a portion of each paycheck that you make, whether that be 20%, 30%, whatever that you can afford, to literally put into your savings account, leave it alone and just let it cook, let it bake in there. You check it a few months later, you're like, ooh, I actually saved money. Savings account is how I got my car. Savings account is how I got my apartment. I literally put a portion of everything, all the money that I made, put into my savings account and left it alone. I think that it's a good idea to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Sit down and think about what you want to do in life. Think about what your passions are. Think about what you really want to do in the future. When I was in school, I was going to school to become a nurse, and I feel like I was becoming a nurse because my oldest sister is a nurse, and I wasn't really thinking about what I truly loved. I was just thinking about what would make money and what would be smart and what would be best for me. So I was like, registered nurse. I didn't really have a conversation with myself as to what I really wanted to do. I didn't have a conversation with myself to be able to say, hey, Lisette, like, what do you like? What do you love? What would you enjoy doing? What do you see yourself doing for, 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Like, what do you really see yourself in the future doing? You really need to just sit down, have a conversation, think about it, write down the pros and the cons. You can even take one of those tests online, those like career tests. I told my friend once that one of my dreams in life was to write a book. And whenever I told her this, she actually laughed at me. She laughed at me and she's like, you can't write a book. Like, why is that one of your goals? And I just completely shut down. Like, I completely shut down and I was like, I can't write a book. Like, even my friend said I can't even write a book. Like, I could never do that. I could never in my life ever write a book because this person said that I couldn't write a book. But the thing is, if that's one of your hopes and that's one of your dreams and that's something that you're really passionate about, you can't let people tell you what you can and can't do. And you also need to surround yourself with people that are positive people, that want to support you, that want to see you do well. You know, this goes back to like being around toxic people. Like, you have to be able to recognize the people in your life and be able to recognize who's there for you and who's not there for you. But yeah, that is it for today's girl talk. If you like this video, then please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Like I said, leave your ideas down below in the comments so I can read them and add them to my phone, because I have a whole girl talk notes and I just write the ideas down all the time. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.